shape and size of the cell. So according to the function and according to organs, the shape and size of cells are different. So one cell looks different from other cell. Why? Because of the different organs. Like as you can see in the diagram out here, the nerve cell is quite different than that of sperm cell, and it is quite different than that of red blood cell and also of cardiac muscle. So these are some of the cells of the specific organ which have their own specific importance. So as you can see, it is different kind of cell according to the function. Now according to that, this was for animal cell. Now even for plant cell, we have different kind of cell according to the function. Usually cells which are present outside the bark are usually very hard, and the cells which are present at the inside the cells which are present, which are able to store foods, are quite larger than that of the normal cells. So with this we can see cells are different for different animals. Then the size of the cell, usually the size of the cell it's given to us is 0.0025 centimeters. So it's quite very small. It's just like for an inch, if we divide 1 inch into 1000 parts, and one part of it, that is the diameter of the cell, which is very extremely small. So the smallest cell till now known is the bacteria cell, which is a unicellular, just has one cell, that organism. And the largest shell is the ostrich eggs. Then the longest cell in the human body is nerve cell, which the diagram which I showed you previously, it is the longest cell. Now the structure of plant cell and animal cell. Now the structure, now we were discussing about the cell, now we try to see what are present inside the cell. So the diagram of cell looks something like this. So you can see there are various different organs present inside the cell. These are known as your cell organelles, and each and every organelle has their own function. So this is what a cell looks like. But for plant cell it's quite different, for animal cell it's quite different. So some of the organelles present here, we will see their function. So first one is the cell membrane. So cell membrane is the outermost boundary of the cell. So what is the function? It keeps all the organelles intact. It gives a particular shape to the shell. If cell membrane is not there, then we won't be having a particular, like we can see a particular shape of the cell. That is due to the cell membrane. So cell membrane is also known as a semi-permeable membrane, because through cell membrane many fluids enter and leave. So it only allows very few selective fluids to enter inside the cell and leave the cell. That's why it's known as semi-permeable membrane. Now next one is cytoplasm. The floor which you can see, the floor where all the cell organelles are known as your cytoplasm, and it is a jelly-like substance. Now inside this floor there are many organelles, as you saw in the diagram. All the organelles are present out there, which are your nucleus, your endoplasmic reticulum, lysosomes. These are all the substance present. Now we'll see the organelles in the cytoplasm. So first one is your nucleus. So nucleus is a round spherical like organelle which is present inside the cell, and it also has a membrane, outer covering, which is known as your nuclear membrane. It also has a fluid which is known as your nucleoplasm. So it's the nucleus out there. It is the nucleus is quite a unique organelle out there. And what is the function of the nucleus? We'll see. It has a thread-like structure called chromosome, and chromosome means it is the hereditary character which we carry. So I have some quality of my parents, so those are my hereditary character, and in some cases we also carry some hereditary disease and all. So that is present in the nucleus. Next one, we have a small box out here which is your eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cell. So cell which have well defined nucleus with a nuclear membrane is called your eukaryotic cell. As the term eukaryote means true nucleus, so that means cell or animals or organism which have well defined nucleus. That means they have a perfect nucleus, that means they do have a nucleus out there, and they have a cell membrane, those are known as eukaryotic cell. And that means prokaryotic cells are those substances which do not have true nucleus and they do not have a cell membrane. That means the cell is not definite. Like for human being, our cell is a definite structure, but for different animals, like usually a unicellular organism, we just have one cell. They do not have a fixed shape of the cell because they just have one shell, and in order to eat the food, sometimes the movement of cells are taking place. So those are examples of your prokaryotic cells. Like bacteria, your blue green algae, those are examples of your prokaryotic cell. Now the next topic is mitochondria. So mitochondria is also one of the organelle of the cell, and it is also known as the powerhouse of the cell. It is also known as the powerhouse of the cell, since it is related to one of the process which is known as ATP. So it's not given out here. That is your adenosine triphosphate, which is related to respiration, and through respiration some energies are released. So that's why mitochondria is related to that process. That's why it's known as the powerhouse of the cell. Then next one is your plastids. So plastids, it's a unique organelle which is only present in the plant cell, not in the animal cell. And there are three kinds of plastid. We'll see: chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. So first one is chloroplast. Chloroplast is that substance which is able to impart green color to the plants. That's why it is only present inside plant cell. If it was present in human beings, we could also have green color in our skin. Since it is only present in plants, that's why plants have green color. Then next one is your chromoplast. Now chromoplast is a substance which is non-green color, but what it does, it imparts fruit to the color. Like you have different fruits. We have apple, mangoes, and also these are different fruits, and each of the fruits are different from each other through their color. So that is imparted by your chromoplast. And we have leucoplast. So another one is leucoplast, and this leucoplast, what it does, it is able to store food. Then you have lysosomes. Lysosomes are also known as the dead house of the cell, also known as a suicidal bag. So what it does, usually the cells which are very old and which are about to die, they go and die in lysosomes. Then you have endoplasmic reticulum. Now what endoplasmic reticulum does, it is attached to the nucleus. As you can see in the diagram, this thread-like structure is your endoplasmic reticulum. So usually what it does, if something has to be transferred into the nucleus, it is transferred to this endoplasmic reticulum. Then we have next is ribosomes. So next one is ribosomes, and sometimes we see that ribosomes are attached with endoplasmic reticulum or they are free. And the main function of ribosomes is it provides protein synthesis. Next one is Golgi bodies. So Golgi bodies, sometimes also known as your Golgi apparatus. So what's the function of Golgi bodies? Is it receives, packs, and distribute chemical products. So chemical products which are required in our body, chemical substances which are required. So the function of Golgi bodies is to receive and distribute those chemical substances. Next one we have is centrosomes. Okay, centrosomes. Centrosomes are usually found only in animal cells. So you will not be finding this in plant cells. So usually they are very close to the nucleus and it helps in cell division. So that means when cells are being divided, it is being controlled by these centrosomes. Now vacuoles. Now vacuoles are those substances which are usually only found in plant cell. So inside the vacuoles, what is done is usually water is stored. So vacuoles usually found in plants and animal both, but you see that vacuoles are quite bigger in plant cell and it's quite smaller in animal cells. So its function is to store food and other substances and all. Now if we try to compare the cell of plants and animals, you see that it's quite different. So this one is your animal cell, out here is the animal cell, and out here is your plant cell. So you can see first of all the color. Then the outermost boundary, which you can see for plant cell, you have cell cell wall. In animal cell you don't have cell wall. Then you can see the size of a vacuoles and all. So you don't have centrosomes in plant cell, but you have in animal cell. So there are many differences out there which are at the back. So this is very much required. This has to be studied. Now with this we end this chapter. Now I want my students to do this one. Choose the correct answer, true or false. And question number 5. They can do this. With this we end the chapter. Thank you.